conventional wisdom, we give age a lot more credit than it deserves. The older generation sometimes dismisses younger ideas for not aligning with vision. And in return, the younger generation criticizes older perspectives for lack of innovation. This inherent paradox creates a scenario that's very challenging to navigate because meaningful contributions are often met with unwanted generational criticism. Nobody can win. It's 1:30 a.m. I'm hunched over my laptop, I'm sinking deeper and deeper into the couch, and I'm writing a supplemental essay that I am hoping and praying will earn me admission into my new school. It says, anybody in here been through the senior year college admissions process? I know, it's stress, it's mental fatigue, it's exhaustion. But somehow, in paragraph 3, in the essay I was writing, detailing my life as a teenage entrepreneur, someone who's been both the inspired and the inspirer, a profound sentence emerged. The sentence is, these tears taught me what it means to be intergenerationally inspirational. Now, let's dissect this phrase, intergenerationally inspirational, because if you accept these 3 pillars that I'm about to present to you, I promise that paradox I mentioned in the beginning is going to vanish. But since this is a conversation about intergenerational inspiration, and I'm in a room with people from a bunch of different generations, I'm going to need you to say some things with me in this talk. So, repeat these pillars after me. Pillar number 1, your story is power.
Your story is power.
Pillar number 2, your age is an asset.
Your age is an asset.
And pillar number 3, your impact is unpredictable.
Your impact is unpredictable.
Right. So in 2018, at age 13, I founded a nonprofit with the mission to motivate all children, but especially children of color, to read more diverse books. And through this nonprofit, I had the opportunity and privilege to create a pop-up bookstore where all the books were written by and or featuring people of color. Throughout my teenage years, we distributed over 250 diverse titles and over 6,000 diverse children's books across the state of New Jersey and New York. It's amazing. It was an amazing experience. And in July of 2021, I was hosting a pop-up bookstore when a woman walked up to my table. She was really excited to look at the books. She asked me why I started my organization. I assumed she was in tears. And I was confused because, books are fun. I like books. But then she told me that she too had her own business a few years before, but she'd given up on herself. And seeing me, a 16-year-old who was boldly chasing her dreams, reignited her ambitions. Now, I usually interacted with little kids who thought that reading was cool and fun because I, a teenager, said it was. And I don't know about you, but I've seen that little kid-teenager dynamic, and I wanted to perpetuate that experience. But I never expected to change the life of an adult. Those tears taught me what it means to be intergenerationally inspirational. Now, you may not impact 1 million people on your first try. Maybe one day you will. But one thing I do know is that we're all experts in at least one thing: our stories. We've been through it, we've had the experiences, and now it's our responsibility to share that with the world. And in the same breath, it's essential for us to truly listen to and digest the experiences of others, because we never know which pieces of their puzzle can impact our lives for the better. Which leads me to pillar number 2. Your age is an asset. And I'm about to ask you to do something that might be a little uncomfortable, but it's okay. On the count of 3, I want you to say your age. Loud and proud. Don't be shy, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Great. Okay, so it's out there. All right. No more ages. And every single time that we live another day, we grow another day older. I lived with an 80s to 90s-year-old for about 16 years of my life. Her name was Mama. And although she passed in 2020, her legacy in my house will never leave. Mama was an enigma, okay? Mama was an experience, but her journey taught me so many powerful things that even at the age of 16, 17, 18, 19, where I am now, I've been able to apply them into both my personal and professional life. Mama was somebody who was struggling with the realities of aging, and she had several challenges, but I appreciate her presence in my life because otherwise I would not have been able to, number one, recognize when I need to lean on others for help, and number two, solve problems based on controllable factors. And those were two things that I saw her struggling with. But as a child, I knew that being able to grab those things and learn how to utilize them in my everyday life would be a benefit for the rest of my days. So as a business owner, I became a better teammate. I was able to collaborate with those around me. I was able to lean on others when I needed help. And I started to use the power of delegation much more than I had been before. My mom knows. She's been giving me the advice for years, and I finally decided to use it. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't truly recognize the power of the elderly in our lives. Sometimes we see them as decrepit. Okay? Sometimes we don't really want to listen to what they say because it doesn't feel like they're up with the times or they're in the current know. But I know from Mama and other people in my life within different generations that timeless lessons exist in every generation. Can you say that with me? Timeless lessons exist in every generation. It's true. Which is why I'm about to tell you about a 4-year-old who humbled me. Okay? I have a little cousin, we're going to call him Adam, and he is a very calm child. A lot of times we'll see little kids running, screaming, crying. It's normal. But Adam is not that kid. He taught me about the importance of calming down. As he would say, chilling out. That's exactly how he said it. There was one time where I was at my house and he was over. I don't know what I was stressing out about, but he took his little hand and he put it on my wrist. He was Ssanyu, what will help you chill out? And at first I was like, how are you going to tell me about chilling out? I'm almost an adult. But then I was like, this little kid is wiser than I am. I definitely need to take a breath. I need to calm down. I need to recollect. And that is something I am so grateful for because now I'm able to use that when I encounter challenges. When I have struggles, when I don't really know what to do. Adam's demeanor, his spirit, is a reminder for me to take a breath sometimes, which is something that all of us need to do, right? Sometimes it's okay. And I really, really want to emphasize the importance of people like Mama and Adam, in not just my life, but who are your mamas? Who are your Adams? Who are people who might be 70 years your senior? Who are people who might be, well, in my case, it was 15 years my junior, but who in your case is 20, 30, 40 years your junior, who you can learn from? Mama's age didn't diminish her wisdom, and Adam's age didn't diminish his as well. They were both impactful. They were both influential, and they were both on very different ends of the age spectrum. Very different. A lot of the time, we fall into this pattern where we don't truly listen to those around us. And like I mentioned before, we might push away different perspectives because we don't align with a person's experience or their belief system. But I want to tell you that, again, timeless lessons exist in every generation, which brings me to pillar number 3. Your impact is unpredictable. So it's Read Across America Day, 2022. I'm 17 years old, and I had returned to my former elementary school to host an assembly-style story time for every single kid in that grade. It was amazing. And I had implemented this kindness ambassador program for all of my storytime events, where I had teachers choose 2 students in their class who exemplified kindness, respect, integrity, and inclusion to reinforce positive behavior in the classroom. And I called up one of the 2nd grade kindness ambassadors to hand her certificate, and she did not hesitate to give me a tight hug. She looked up at me with tears in her eyes, and she said something that reminded me why I was there in the first place. She told me that seeing somebody who looked just like her, who was so young, made her believe that she could be an author too. By simply being myself, sharing my passions, going to a school and reading a 32-page children's book, I have planted a seed of inspiration into this little girl. I have absolutely no way of knowing if this 8-year-old is going to grow up to be the next big author or even write a book one day. But what I do know is that in that moment, I could have changed her life. In that moment, being me, being Ssanyu, was enough to plant something that could last for generations. All of us have the power to do that with our experiences. All of us have a story. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a roommate. I'm somebody who absolutely loves the show The Office. I'm somebody who loves sloths. They're so cute. I love them. But most of all, I am a lifelong learner. And I want you to take that mentality of being a lifelong learner and meld it with intergenerational inspiration. Take those stories from those older people in your life, those younger people in your life, and be intentional about what you can learn from. We live in a world that is constantly becoming more polarized. People get frustrated, don't truly listen to those around them. But I promise you, it's going to be okay. We just have to work together as a group. That's why I stayed up really late, and I created something for each and every single one. I have a notebook and a pen that is going to be your inspiration notebook. I only have one ask for you when you leave this room, and it's to find somebody from a different generation and have a genuine conversation. Not just one-sided. Make it symbiotic. Don't just tell your story, but listen to theirs. I want you to walk out of this room and do that one thing. So please raise your hand. We're going to say something together again. I promise to change the nation by telling my story and using intergenerational inspiration. One more time. I promise to change the nation by telling my story and using intergenerational inspiration. I appreciate all of you. I want you to go forth, connect, grow, tell your stories, and make a difference. Thank you.